Back in April, we took a look at 3 different approaches to putter design. Riki Waisaki's prototype putter in its big beaded chunky design, Latitude 64's micro bead peak, and Doomsday's funky, unconventional cyber putter. But today we're going to switch it up and we're going to look at a bunch of putters that are all the same, because the disc is in the details. Hey everyone, it's Greg from Six Sided Discs. And sometimes it's just all about being trendy. What's popular changes from time to time, and trends come and go, and eventually they come back around. And back in 2014, the trendy, cool putter to use was the Prodigy PA3. Around that time, and in the years since, dozens of top professional players have putted with the PA3, including, but not limited to, Paul Ulibarri, Gannon Buhr, Isaac Robinson, Ezra Robinson, Chris Dickerson, Will Schustrick, Alden Harris, Thomas Gilbert, Cale Leiviska, Vino Makula, Gavin Rathbun, Jake Hebenheimer, and probably many more. But when I got back into disc golf around 2020, the cool, trendy putter that everyone was using was the Innova Aviar or Discmania P2, which are basically the exact same disc, but also very different to the Prodigy PA3. While the PA3 has this blocky, chunky wing with a big bead, the Aviar is a smooth, deep, beadless putter. And the style of putter that people choose isn't necessarily all about what feels best in your hand. In fact, it is affected by quite a few other factors. I've heard Jeremy Colling talk about some of these factors because he's talked about how much putting trends have changed over the years. 10 to 20 years ago, putting was much more of a finesse game. Baskets had fewer chains, and they weren't great at catching. If your putt comes in as fast as Gannon Buhr's putts, it would spit right through or bounce back off the pole way too often. But nowadays, we have baskets with complex chain assemblies that slide and absorb the energy of not only putts, but discs that are flying in at much higher speeds. And as a result, many players are moving to more overstable putters with less glide, just like the PA3. In fact, there are more than a few putters that have popped up in recent years that seem to be at least a little bit inspired by the PA3. But before we see them, let's refresh our memory on what makes a PA3 a PA3. Prodigy's Putt and Approach Disc 3, or PA3, in their base plastic at least, tends to be bored flat. The wing comes down sharply above the parting line, and it has this really flat, blunt nose that increases its overstability. Then, below the parting line, it cuts in sharply to that iconic big bead. Lots of players like to put their finger right here between the bead and where that flat edge comes down. It adds added control and comfort to their putting grip. Now, I mentioned earlier how putting trends in the past were influenced by the baskets of that time, but putting trends today are very much influenced by today's baskets. And I think Gannon Buhr himself has had a lot to do with the resurgence of the PA3 and putters like it. Gannon burst onto the scene in 2021 at just 16 years old, and throughout the season he managed to finish 4th at the Preserve and 5th at the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship. He didn't have to wait long, though, for his first big win, taking down the Santa Cruz Masters Cup in May of 2022, and he followed that up by stunning the disc golf world to win the United States Disc Golf Championship at just 17 years old, becoming the youngest ever major winner in disc golf history. 2023 was a breakout season. 5 big wins, including the Memorial Championship, Blue Ridge Championship, Des Moines Challenge, Kansas City Wide Open, and the LWS Open at Idlewild, plus an additional 3 podium finishes. But 2023 was also a year of controversy. As Prodigy pushed to tie Gannon down to a new contract, Gannon pushed back, even attempting to leave his contract early. Both parties sued the other, and eventually reached agreement for him to finish out the 2023 season. Gannon's success with Prodigy and the PA3 didn't go unnoticed. After Eagle McMahon and Simon Lizotte had departed Discmania, they were in search of a big name to lead their team. And lead Gannon did, because he went ballistic in 2024. He won 7 Pro Tour events, the European Open, USDGC, and the Pro Tour Championship, which is why it's no surprise that in late 2024, Discmania submitted the new P2X for PDGA approval. And well, tell me that's not basically the same wing shape as a PA3. Now, Discmania's P2X has so far been released in 3 different plastics: a medium and firm stiffness base blend, which is called D-Line, and a limited edition Discmania Challenge Fundraiser in Glow C-Line plastic. And while Gannon's been racking up the wins in 2025 with the P2X in hand, it's not the only putter that seems to be inspired by the PA3. A disc we featured on our channel a couple times is the Jester Disc Golf Wild Thing. The bead is pretty much the same size, it's also flat, and the only real noticeable difference here is how the bottom of the wing cuts in at a slightly sharper angle. And the Wild Thing is just as overstable as the PA3, if not more so. Here's a friendly reminder that you can purchase many of the discs we test in our videos while supplies last at sixsideddiscs.com or at the link in the video description. But we have a lot more than lightly used discs. In fact, we carry all your favorite brands, mystery boxes, apparel, accessories, and much more. And channel members can get 5, 10, or 20% off all orders from our website as well. So click the join button down below to learn more. All of this helps support the content we create, so thank you very much. DGA's new putter, the Sonar, is also pretty much a dead ringer for the PA3. Here we have it in DGA's Stone Blend, which is a stiff but smooth base plastic. All of these putters have pretty solid stability, and Caleb put most of them through their paces here on our practice basket, and found all of them to have pretty reliable fade. And while there are certainly other putters that are popular, the P2X, PA3, and similar designs have been flying off our shelves all season long, signaling a growing shift toward these much more overstable putters. Things change fast though, and it's only a matter of time before we see the next breakout star bringing a new putter and putting style to the Pro Tour and becoming the next big thing. What putters do you all use, and why? Have you ever found yourself influenced by pros and their putting style or choice of putter? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're there, comment below what other discs or topics you'd like us to explore in the future. Remember, the disc is in the details. For Six Sided Discs, I'm Greg. We'll see you in the next one.
I'm losing.
Okay, go ahead. If you like this content and want to see more, please consider liking the video, subscribing to our channel, or becoming a member. Your support makes this content possible.